Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Welcome to today's Postgrad Insight session. Today's session is a follow-up from the earlier actuary session for those of you that have joined both. This is all about architecture, and we're joined today by Manuel, who's going to be taking you through a lot more of the information, in particular around architecture at Heriot-Watt. Just a reminder, this is a live session. If you have any questions at all, any concerns, any issues relating to today's session, please email webinars@postgradsolutions.com. As it is a live session, if you are watching on Zoom today, you can use the Q&A or the chat facility. If you're watching on demand, again, use that same email address, webinars@postgradsolutions.com, and then we can find out a lot more information about what you need to know. But for now, I'd like to hand you over to Manuel. Manuel will take you through the next 30 to 45 minutes, and I will be back for the Q&A. Any questions? Pop it in the chat. Thank you. Over to you, Manuel.
Thank you, Gareth. Hello and good day to all of you. My name is Manuel Cresciani. I'm the director of the Master of Architecture we are launching in September this year, 2025. And this is a session that will explain what is the context in which we are operating within the Heriot-Watt institution and the details of the Master of Architecture that we are launching. So I will start giving some information about Heriot-Watt. And the first is really important to stress: we are a global institution. I've been working in several universities in the UK, and there are, a lot of push about being international. But I have to say that this is the only university that I have been working with that is truly international. So this is not just kind of marketing; it's actually the nature of the institution, which is a great thing. So we had several campi, as we say, in Dubai, Malaysia, in the Scottish border, in Scotland, Orkney, beautiful north of Scotland, and of course the Edinburgh campus. So this is just a map that shows the kind of wide range of connection that we have across the whole globe, and that I think speaks for itself, the way that we are capillary to the five continents. Again, this is part of the narrative, because architecture is a discipline that is understood not by words but by drawing. So we are international as the discipline we are offering today. Quickly about the content of this presentation, there will be some section. 6 out of 7 is about the institution, but essentially in terms of timing, the half of it will be about the master. So I cannot see any question, but probably I will ask you to keep your question or write them in the chat for a final question and answer session. First, so we are pioneering education since 2021. This is really important in our DNA, and in this vein, we are continuing to upload and update our programs and create new programs like the Master of Architecture to keep on revolutionize education. We actually started as an Edinburgh School of Arts, which also hosts the first Mechanical Institute. Again, this is, architecture is a discipline which is between art and science. So these two kind of institutes are really symbolic for the Master of Architecture. We also have a Bachelor in Architecture, so what it was called in the UK Part 1 in Dubai. The Master is the final steps for your education, architectural education. This is really important to me. As an academic in 2025, Mary Burton was the first woman part of the board of directors. That was 20 years before actually the law in Scotland open and admit sitting in the boards of directors to women. So we pioneered that. And that is really important for us in terms of inclusivity, in terms of nature of what we are. As a university, we were founded as an initial state of the university in 1854. The Watt Club is one of the oldest alumni association in the UK, and it has 166,000 members in over 190 countries. So it's again, it's a very capillary institution. In terms of rankings, there are a few things that I think really needs to be stressed. We are first in Scotland and second in the UK for undergraduate employability, meaning that these are real job. So it's not like working in a supermarket. It's actually a job that you have studied for. So this is a great achievement for us. We are really proud. 32 in the UK, 256 in the global for in terms of university rankings overall, which for a compact side university like we are is again a great achievement. And we have a national student survey which kind of testify the overall satisfaction to students in our campi across the world, and this is about 75.44%, which is a great percentage. We are top in Scotland for world leading in physics, which is part of not directly involved in architecture, but of course architects needs to deal with gravity, with physics. And the second point is really great. So we have more CEO or managing director in 2002 within Scotland. And then I let you read the other in terms of sustainability, which is a pillar of the Master of Architecture we are offering. And we are top in Scotland for ethical investment. That is another element that really is important for us, the ethical commitment of whatever we do. In figures, so we had across the campuses, we have about 26,000 students. Again, this is about a compact university, a middle-sized compact university. And students are coming from 172 countries in the world. So we have a really enormous range of culture and cultural context. 65% is taught on campus, so in person, and 35%, which is a great percentage, is off campus, so is online learning. The Master of Architecture will be taught in person, but the fact that we are so accustomed to teach in online is a great advantage in terms of organizing extemporary lecture from other parts of the world. So we have all the expertise and equipment to do this. So as, for example, guest lecturing around the globe. The staff number, again, across the campi is about 2,800 plus. 40% about is academic, 60% is professional services, which are an integral part of the functioning of architecture. Most of the staff are based in the largest campus that we have here in Edinburgh. There are 10% in Dubai and 9% in Malaysia. Again, in terms of students number per campus, so the Scottish campus, which is Edinburgh and Galashiel in South Scotland, is about 10,000 students, about 2,000 in Malaysia, 4,000 and a half in Dubai, and the independent is a great chunk of students, counting around 9,000 students. And you can see the difference between undergraduate, taught postgraduate, so MC and so on, and research postgraduate. Awards, again, this is really important. This is just a kind of extract of the key awards that we keep on receiving as university level. And I think I mentioned the one that I'm personally most proud of, and also they are closest to the discipline of architecture. The first is about the Refugee Scholarship Initiative. This is something that it's really important for us to be very kind of prone to consider disadvantaged category of people. What is the impact that we can make in the society? After all, architecture is one of the really discipline that work with and for society. So this is in line with what we we try to do in terms of positive impact to society. On the same vein, the Queen University Prize Awards are one of the most prestigious academic prizes that are given in the UK. We had 4, which is, again, for a compact university as we are, is a great achievement. And the last one was homing for homeless people in 2019. Again, part of the thematic narrative of what we're trying to do, or we will do at the Master of Architecture at Heriot-Watt. Similar, in terms of awards that are really close to us. This is really almost physically close because our very own professor Gabriela Medero, she invented part of a kind of consortium the K brick. The K brick is a brick which is made of about 90% of waste materials. So it's a recycled brick, which has fantastic mechanical properties and is it's a prototype, but it's been produced and is again a testimony of our research, which is another element that I'm going to touch in a second about Heriot-Watt. And again, Gabriela is one of our professors in the school of where the master will take place. Again, I mentioned already the importance that we have about access and inclusion in terms of our students, our research, and our ethos, generally speaking. As I said, 166,000 of students that were with us, spread on 190 countries. These are people that, in one way or another, are part of our big family. Some of them are returning to give lecture, to talk to our current students about their experience, their, the kind of the journey that they have done after graduating from us, which is again a great heritage that we have. We are committed to equality, diversity, and inclusion. This is part of our DNA. As I said, both the staff and the students are proceeding from a wide range of different cultural contexts, and that is that kind of enrich the academic humus of our schools and university by and large. And that's another part. We tend to do research which has a direct impact into society, which is probably, from my point of view, the most useful kind of research. Just to give you some example, again, this is an extract of the many initiatives in terms of research that we do, but they are more close to what are interesting for the discipline of architecture. So, for example, in our Orkney campus, there is an initiative, the Blue Economy for Sustainable Communities, and is about enhance the resilience of coastal communities, both in terms of geological, from marine science, but also from the kind of society that they kind of live in coastal communities across Scotland, across UK, and across the world. We are working with some fishing village in Indonesia, just to let you know what kind of link do we have from here. The energy transition is key to us in architecture. Sustainability is really one of the themes, if not the theme, about the master. And again, this is something that we are working at Orkney. Net zero is something that we take as a premises of our project. It's not like an add-on. We will only consider design project for a net zero kind of target. Excuse me. And we have the Robotarium, which is these large facilities as a national facilities for Scotland. That is in our campus here in Edinburgh is a joint venture with the University of Edinburgh, but it is in our campus, and it's a great. It's just actually in front of me. I can look at it just in front of me, and this is available, and it's essentially the kind of container where robotics meet AI. So it's a really great facilities. It's open to public for event. It's open to students if they are running a project. It's populated mainly by research students at the moment. But for example, I've been bringing my own student in architecture engineering within the Robotarium. It's a great facility. Again, it's a national centrum and it's a joint venture between the Heriot-Watt University and Edinburgh Edinburgh University. Okay, I hope that very quickly I gave you the context in which we are operating, and now it's more in detail about the Master of Architecture. So as I said, historically we have been running the Bachelor of Architecture in Dubai for the last 8 years. It's an incredibly success program, and so of course the idea was always to then complete the educational journey adding the Master of Architecture. So I give you some numbers, and I think that's really important. But before that, I think that we are. So this presentation is about the Master in Edinburgh. Although, as I will say, we are going to open soon the same program in Dubai. But talking about the city of Edinburgh, the capital of Scotland, one of the most magnificent cities in the world, we have to say that Edinburgh is also a UNESCO World Heritage Site. So UNESCO is the institution that award heritage sites. Sometimes they are natural sites, and sometimes they are urban sites. And UNESCO awarded the World Heritage Site to Edinburgh because of its architectural and urbanistic merit. So it's really a great place to study architecture and to complete your educational journey in architecture. So that is one of the many reasons that we started thinking and putting together this program a few years ago. It's been kind of a long process, so we started 2 years ago to gather ideas and to understand what kind of offer we wanted to make. So we are based in Edinburgh. In terms of numbers, we will start in September 2025. So this coming September that's important. It's a 2 years long master. It's not like a typical MCs, for example, which is 1 year master. It's 2 year master, and that is common to all DMARC in the UK. It bears 240 credits, so it's not 180. So it's more than that. That's important. It's a boutique cohort. We are not looking to large numbers at all because we want to have this kind of personal relationship with our students. As you probably know, architecture is a very intense course, and the kind of human touch, to know each other, to know your tutor, to know who you are, where you're coming from, what is your context. It's really important. So we have shaped the whole program to contain the cohort of students. That also means that, of course, the application will be scrutinized to get the right people in here, and there won't be many places. It's not a huge cohort. Actually, it's quite a small cohort. That for us is really important. And of course, it will be accredited. More about the accreditation in a few slides. So this is not just a common master. This is an accredited master, meaning that it bear the qualification, the professional validation aspect as well. Again, I will be more clear or answering question later on. Okay, what are the themes? So the themes that are really capital for us for DMARC, because remember, DMARC is really particularly in the UK, but I would say across internationally, is what really define the ethos, the values of a school of architecture. The bachelor is the common ground, so there are less differences amongst courses, I would say. I've been teaching architecture for 20 years in different institutions. So, and I've been, again, director of master in architecture in several institutions. So I know what I'm talking about. So the master really define what is the school about. And what we are about are two things: the urban territory, so the urban fabric, the cities, and sustainability. This is what we are after. And it's not just an arbitrary choice. This comes from the fact that the UN in their report in 2018 foreseen that about 70% of the global population in the world will be living in urban areas by 2050. So 7 people out of 10 will be living in cities. And of course, the cities are, one of the oldest institutions of humanity, okay, dating back almost 4,000 years, but is also at the moment and currently one of the major responsible for environmental pollution. And so if we fixed both the fact that we need to find, a sustainable way to have a lot of people, working, living, having fun together, I think that is really, really important for the next generation. So we are equipping our students to face what are the most important challenges in terms of the built environment for the next 100 years, I'm sure. So cities and sustainability. The way we shaped the program was, in a sense, quite simple. The idea was to keep the best courses that we can offer in the school and the university and put together with relevant current projects. And so what we did was just to find the intersection between the elite courses and the relevant project to shape the mark. And just to give you some example, I won't go too much in the detail about learning outcomes, these things that are mostly interest of academics, but I think it's important for you to consider, if you are considering this program, to understand what kind of range of things you are going to do. So, for example, we do have a master, which is not our master, another master that we run. It's a joint master between Heriot-Watt University, so us, and the Edinburgh University. This is the master in urban design and planning. It's been running for many years, and is a joint and double. It's a degree that is awarded by both universities. So there are several modules. The word modules for us in Scotland means courses. So there are several courses. 2 of them, urban design theory and urban design for health and well-being, again sustainability, will be part of our master. So we have taken 2 of these and put in our master. Again, this is a master that run between the 2 universities. We also take one of our best program, architectural engineering, and we have a course which is sustainable and intelligent buildings. Again, technology, sustainability at the core of our master. And then also, as I mentioned, the kind of research activity within the school and across the university is quite vibrant. So there are 2 other courses in year 1 and year 2, which is about research methods, which is essentially an exposure to a series of different fields, relevant to architecture, different methodology, different topics that you will study in year 1. And the research investigation is the theoretical kind of arm of your final design thesis. So these are the taught courses spread in two years. And the other part, which is a crucial part, half of the diet, so 120 credits alone will be provided by the design project. So the design project 1 and 2 will span over 2 semesters in year 1, and then the final design thesis 1 and 2. We call it 1 and 2, but essentially it's one big module that span over the 2 semesters in year 2, which is the final architectural thesis, which will be put together. And I think I have yes, the course content. So year 1, there will be the thought module plus the design project 1 and 2. And in year 2, there will be the research investigation, which again will provide the authentic research investigation you want to demonstrate through your design thesis. So these are the course content in year 1 and year 2 for our master. And we will be organizing and will be support a study trip. I think this is important. I am maybe you have spot my accent. I'm not Scottish, I'm not British, I'm Italian from Rome. And I believe that, before university actually started a couple of hundred years ago to run architecture, the only way for architects to learn about architecture was to travel around the world, the grand tour. And we all still believe that this is quite a big improvement in your architectural education, to see and look and study architecture from other architectural kind of contexts. So these are just examples of things that we have been running for other programs. I've been running many study trips across my career. We could go to Berlin. Mostly will be Europe, I would say, for many reasons. Venice, the Biennale in Venice will be next year. So hopefully next year, the first year of our master, we might go to Venice to see the Biennale, which is the most important and largest exhibition of architecture, of contemporary architecture in the world. And of course, Venice does not need any introduction in terms of what a beautiful and unique city it is. And Paris, we could go to Rome, Barcelona, Amsterdam, and that will mainly depend by the event that this city will run, but also the project that we will brief you for you to carry on. One thing that is really important to me is that I've been launching other courses in other university before, and one of the question or one of the perception that student and feminists had was about, because it's a new course, because it's a new program, staff is also new. That's not true. The staff involved in this course is experienced staff that have been teaching for decades. They and just I mentioned some of us. Yeah, that's me. I'm the director of the program. I've been working in other university in my capacity of director of DMARC in other universities. So I've been here before, if you like. And also I was part of a launch of another architectural program in Loughborough University, which again was a new program, and there were no architecture before. And when after 3 years of our launching, we were 3 in the University League. So I have full confidence that this will be launched. We will be really doing great. And I'll explain you the reasons, not because I am trying to be overconfident. I explain you the reason in a second. Another, Harry Smith is a great colleague, a full professor. He's the director of the master I mentioned before between Edinburgh University and us. He's an internationally renowned figure, and he will be teaching you the urban design theory. And Alex McLaren, a fellow, is also an architect. Alex is another architect. She our DLT, so is our director of learning and teaching for the school. She has been teaching architecture for many years, both here and interior architecture, and also at Edinburgh University. So again, these are part of the staff you will be working with, all incredibly experienced, international renowned people with different background. Harry is working in South America. I am Italian. I've been working in Europe as well. And Alex from Cambridge, she has been working here in Edinburgh for many years too. And there are, of course, a lot of other engineers, urban planners, and so on that will be within the team. Now, what is really fantastic about the MARC and Heriot-Watt is that so we will start in Edinburgh 2025, and the Dubai is going to start next year, 2026. So the synergy between a very old, ancient capital of the old continent and the very contemporary, vibrant, at the center of the world in many respects, city that has less than 100 years is fantastic. So you will have the opportunity to live the best of the two worlds. We have a protocol within Heriot-Watt, which is called Go Globals, for which students can travel to other campi across the Heriot-Watt institution for a semester, and we are, thinking to do the same. So, for example, there might be a project that we from Edinburgh that we actually run in Dubai. So we'll spend some time in Dubai, where the actual site is, for about, let's say, a semester, and then coming back over here to finish the project, or just finish the project in Dubai. The same thing will apply for our Dubai students. They will be based in Dubai, but they will come over here to study, to run a project based on a completely different context. And I think that is really, really crucial, because, you don't know where you will be going, having your project in the world. So if you are, versed to work in a very old context like Edinburgh, and a very new one, I think you are, just kind of considering the whole range of possibilities, and that is different from maybe one project based in a city that you go and visit for 4 or 5 days and then you come back. This is a completely different proposition. So this is something that we will offer when Dubai will start, as we planned in 2020 and 26. This is important. We are seeking accreditation by the ARB. That's it for Edinburgh only. The ARB, the Architect Registration Board, which is the regulator of the profession of architecture in the UK, and the RIBA, the Royal Institute of British Architects. Now, I don't want to bore you with details, but so traditionally, what happened was that the validating body would have come at the first cohort of graduates. So in this case, after 2 years, they would have checked the output of students. They would have talked to some of the students. They would have talked to us. They would have seen our facilities and so on. And then, should they be happy, as they will, they would award the accreditation to the program, which is retroactive. So the students that have been showing their output for the first time will be within an accredited program. Now, the ARB recently, like about 2 years ago, changed their criteria. They changed a lot of things. And one of them was that they changed the accreditation process, by which they are not coming after the graduate cohort, but they will prescribe in their terms the program before it starts. So we are working with ARB and RIBA. Actually, the ARB visit, we have a meeting for stage 2 out of stage 3 next week, where we will have their comments. I already received the comments, and they are quite happy with the program. So all going well, we will be the first cohort of the first school of architecture being awarded at the MArch level in the UK, across the whole country. So that is what we discussed. So we are on track to get the prescription before September. So when you are here, the program will be already awarded. Again, this is a process. So we don't have it now, but I'm pretty confident, absolutely confident, that we'll have it before you start. The RIBA, though, has maintained, like all the other accrediting bodies in across vocational profession like medicine, law, and engineering, and so on. So RIBA will come here at the end of year 1 just to check some of the outputs, and then we'll validate the program at the end of year 2, when the first cohort of graduates will be able to expose their outputs. So this is the way it's working. But the other thing that ARB, so the regulator in the UK, changed is that they abolished the Part 1. Now, this is a seismic change, because that means that you don't necessarily need to have education or a qualification in architecture, as long as you can prove, and we will be looking at your output portfolio through an interview, you can demonstrate that you have enough knowledge to be able to enroll within a master. That is not only us, that is across the UK, which means that if you have studied, I don't know, interior architecture or architectural technology, or something which is close to architecture, or maybe you have been working in architectural practice, and you are interested to have a qualified, a professional, validated degree, then please get in touch, because there is now the possibility for you to enroll with the Master of Architecture. Again, this is something that probably our colleagues in admission will refer to several times, but it's important to understand that for the MArch, not just us, but us, I'm talking about Heriot-Watt, if you don't have a qualified degree in architecture, that might not be necessary to enroll within our program. In terms of careers, of course, most of the people that got the master in architecture will be working in some capacity in architectural firm, hopefully to start their career to become a chartered architect in the UK or wherever you are. Of course, there are a lot of architects working in interior architecture, interior design, product design. It's a very broad discipline, architecture. So it's about a design led. So anything that is design, including game design, is quite popular now. And I'm sure that you all know what is the kind of level of details of the new game. And so there are architects actually inventing the kind of the game scenario context in which we all play, and planning, of course, particularly with this course where urban design is quite central and the discourse around cities is central. You might find yourself working in a planning office, and also there are a lot of other possibilities. One thing that, again, I want to stress, of course, we have been working already, establishing a relationship with a professional. One of the one that I'm most proud is Bennett's Associate. It's a awarded international practice based here in Edinburgh, but also they have practices in London and internationally. You can find this statement, this kind of endorsement in our website at the university, where they say they are delighted to see Heriot-Watt introduce a new master, and they are keen to work with us. They are keen to employ you after your graduation. They really are linked in terms of our topic, our themes, in terms of sustainability and urban design. And I think that is it. Less than 40 minutes. I thank you very much. I leave my presentation on this page. That is my email if you want to have a quick chat with me in the due course, and I'm keen to answer any question there might be.
Manuel, thank you for your time. Really appreciated that. That was an in-depth analysis there of a broad range of courses, really, and exciting opportunities coming up, not just within Scotland, but within Dubai as well. So I kind of want to talk about that to begin with, Manuel. It looks really exciting, starting in 2026, I believe you said,
Yes.
in Dubai. How important is it to kind of factor in that so many people hear the word architecture and potentially think just old? You've alluded to it quite a lot throughout your presentation about how Dubai kind of encapsulates old and new, and you've got architecture where potential job roles are, yes, old, but obviously software and gaming and things like that, new again. How important is that when a student's thinking about what they want to study, that, these are thinking about the future as well? It's not just
Yes.
thinking about buildings like people would notoriously think. It's thinking about the modern day contemporary projects that are out there.
Well, again, I always thought that architecture is a sort of mentality. It's a sort of way of thinking about the world, and I think that will equipped is one of the last kind of humanities subject. And for humanities, I mean almost to mention fortunately my country in a good way, the Renaissance. So people that were very versed into science, into mathematics, but also into arts. If you think about Leonardo da Vinci, he was a scientist, a scholar, but also he wrote poetry, he painted beautiful, artwork and so on. So architecture is something that will equip anybody to have a very, very broad way to think outside the box, as we always say. So it doesn't matter if the students will end up working in a game in a kind of virtual environment completely. Architecture is not just construction; it's a process. It's like writing like music and executing music. They are two different things, and architects are able to do both. But more in terms about the profession of architects, which I believe still will kind of encapsulate the majority of our students and students in architecture in general, to being able to work with the pre-existing, because refurbishing buildings is now not just a trend, it's maybe a necessity. Sometimes we don't have to build a new building. We have to refurbish intelligently a building that already exists. Like, let's remember us, net zero, CO2, embedded materials, and so on. But also there is the necessity to build new buildings to signify, something new is going on. And I think this program will really nurture this both kind of strategies of considering not to build, but also considering to build new fantastic building. And the contest that we are going to operate, Edinburgh and Dubai, will be naturally, offering this possibility to our students. And then again, this is not something that, again, I've been working in this environment for 20 years, but the fact to have two campuses, amongst other, because Malaysia might be join us in the future as well, to be able to do this it's really quite unique in our offer. So I'm talking directly to the people are thinking of, check if other universities have the same kind of mechanism, and don't be fooled about the fact that they might offer you 5 days in Rome. Beautiful city. I'm from it, but it's different to have two campuses operating in two different countries like this.
Excellent. One of the questions that have come in, which Sarah in the background has just been answering questions, is around about the accreditation. It's so important, isn't it?
Yes.
Sarah, if I can bring you in at this point as well, feel free to enter into conversation if you feel so. The question came in, what do the Dubai campus, do they have the RIBA accreditation? And is it confirmed campus will start in March 26? Now, I know, Sarah, you mentioned that the start date will be September 2026, but will it be RIBA accredited?
Yes. Okay. Well, Dubai will start in 2026. This is the last thing I know, but definitely there is an intention to start at some point. And the date that I've been given, and I've been working with our colleagues in Dubai. I'm the director of the master globally, so I will be director of the master wherever it takes place. Is that we will start in 2026. Dubai will seek for the RIBA accreditation. They already have it, but they won't be able to have the ARB accreditation because ARB is a UK institution that depends from the UK government. So they won't be able to have the ARB accreditation in Dubai, but they will have the CAA, which is the accreditation that already they have in architecture, which is the Arabic counterparts of the Emirates accreditation over there. Now, I think this is really important because the ARB will give you the direct start of being a qualified registered architect in the UK. So it's something that will be really important if you are thinking to work in the UK, or you are considered at some point you will be working in the UK as a chartered, as a qualified architect. But if you are not considering that, then I think RIBA is more important in the sense that RIBA is the oldest institution of accrediting as an accrediting body in the world. It is a kind of testament of the quality of the courses. So again, this is something that students might decide where to go. If you come to Edinburgh, you will have the ARB and RIBA, not the Emirates qualification. If you go to Dubai, you will have RIBA and the Emirates, but not the ARB. Having said that, the quality of the program it will be exactly the same. There will be some differences in terms of when we refer to the legislation of the country between the UK and the Emirates, maybe. But in terms of the content, the ethos will be exactly the same. And then again, there is this opportunity for both campuses to spend one semester on the other campus. So, yeah.
And one of the things that strikes me as well, we were talking off camera earlier about the cohort students that are potentially in the classes. You don't want 200 people in your class. You don't want 50 people. You want a small cohort so that you can work with them on a personal one-to-one basis and get them to where they need to be. How important is that? And again, very unique, might I add.
Yes. Well, I mean, just to tell you how much we were about absolutely get this kind of course that we have been working, and with a practice that are designing the new studio, which is a great facilities, the top-notch technological facilities within the school. And we said that we want space for 50 students, including year one and year two, because that is what we want, the way we want to operate with the students. Students are as an integral part of the school. Students of architecture, particularly at the master level, will occupy the studio all the time, and we want to create this kind of personal, they have to feel a sense of community, and you cannot have that if you are one out of 200 students. They are part of the school, an energetic part of the school, and we want to establish with them, of course, there is still also the academic rigor, the natural distance between lecturer and students, but it's a personal relationship. And that's fundamental to us to create the really, really good environment.
Absolutely. And I want to touch upon careers. You mentioned at the start of the presentation, one of the things Heriot-Watt as a university are renowned for are its employability opportunities post-graduation.
Yes.
How important, again, is that to a student that's coming on and applying for architecture at Heriot-Watt? Obviously, being in Edinburgh, you've mentioned already UNESCO site, there's so many great opportunities there. What do you anticipate students, once they've graduated, to do? Do you reckon they would stay in Edinburgh? Do you reckon they would then travel, hence the opportunities within the course itself?
Well, Scotland is one of the most vibrant environment for architecture in the UK. I think I don't have the data, but in terms of, apart from London, but I think the density of architects of practice in Scotland is extraordinary, given the size of Scotland. Not only in Edinburgh, Glasgow is 45 minutes from here. It's a central part of European architecture with Randy McIntosh and so on. But I think that I'm working with colleagues in Berlin, and they will be keen. That's Patrick Teufel, a structural engineering and architecture practice. They are keen to come over here to do seminar, to do workshop. We will go to Berlin. They are keen to employ our students. I have contacts in Italy as well. And then again, there will be exchanges with students, academic exchanges. So I think that, particular people coming from maybe outside Europe, coming into Europe will be a great opportunity for them to start looking around, the chances to work in Scotland, in the UK, and in Europe in general. But of course, the large market is also on the oriental side of the world from our perspective. So coming, Dubai is where architecture is happening, Abu Dhabi, China, and so on. So I think once they are equipped to work in a variety of design projects, I think they have the passport to work everywhere they want.
Excellent. Sarah, if I can come to you at this point, from an admissions viewpoint, with the course starting in September 2025, I think Manuel mentioned earlier that although it's a new course, the wealth of experience that comes with the academics is fantastic. How do students go on and actually apply? Because obviously they'll think, oh, it's a new course. Where do I find that information? Are the requirements different to other courses? But do you just want to explain to the students that'll be watching now and over the next few months how they can go about applying?
Yeah, absolutely. So, hi everyone, I'm Sarah. I am the admissions business partner for this program. So, in terms of the application process, it starts on our website. So, the full application process is done online. You complete that, that'll be processed by the team here. We have a couple of mandatory fields we need to complete for this program. So, we'll require a portfolio, which can either be attached to your application or emailed in separately if your file is quite large. Sometimes you've got to email that to the postgraduate admissions team. Following from that, we will hopefully be able to pop you an offer out from our system, which will definitely include the condition of an interview. All applicants are going through an academic interview for this program, which we will organise once you have met some of your conditions, or if that's your only condition, we'll organise that straight away for you. We will go through quite a quick process of return around applications in sort of under 5 days at the moment. So hopefully you'd have an offer pretty quickly. And we'll pop you in touch with Manuel as well, just in case you have any program specific questions, or we can help you with any questions to do with your application or the cycle of admissions.
That was going to be my next question, actually, because so often I've been there myself when you apply for a course at university, in particular when you've got pass through a portfolio, how important is it to pick the brains of those that are going to be, running the show in essence, have been there as well and done that and got the shirt. So, Manuel, presumably it'd be important to people to kind of pick your brains and understand exactly what it is that you're going to be looking for and what they can expect.
Yeah, I mean, I think that portfolio are somehow are a kind of common format for applying in a course of architecture. So typically we are looking for about 15, 20 A3 pages, just to give you a little bit of an idea. And there are two things that I'm really keen of: the kind of care, the kind of the fact that they are well composed. Maybe the quality of the project could be not kind of exceptional, because this is just a stage of their career. So we are not working about the quality in itself of the project, but they need to be well presented. Some information about what kind of project they did, and then it depends from if it's a kind of academic portfolio. So it will be from students of part one or bachelor in architecture. There will be academic project, or they could be like so to speak real project from people that have been working in industry, and a little bit of information about what was the project and what was their input, and a variety of also scale. So they can demonstrate there is a kind of course that depends from the background, but a little bit of kind of the context of the building itself in plan section, three-dimensional view, and maybe some details if they kind of arrive to that kind of details. So something that really will tell that they care about it, that there is a project that they of course have done or been part of. It could be there's no problem to show something that was a group project. We work in groups in real terms in practices, so that's absolutely fine. And something that also will maybe signify their interest, why they want to be architects, like chartered architects or qualified architects at the highest level, why they want to come over here. So again, it's I think that would be the thing that I will try to gather from the portfolio.
And also presumably just how passionate they are as well.
Yes. But
Sarah,
it's
go on.
difficult to meet an architect that is not passionate. That is a rare thing.
It is indeed. Sarah, just coming back to you, there have been a couple of questions around accommodation, which I know a huge benefit of studying at Heriot-Watt University is your guaranteed on-campus opportunities to stay. How does that look if a student was to study in Dubai? How does that vary? If you want to answer the first part of that to begin with, and then obviously on to the other campuses.
Yeah, so in terms of for Edinburgh campus, yeah, we've got accommodation that is situated on our campus, and our campus is surrounded by the most amazing greenery. We've got woodland, we've got a short bus journey away from literally the centre of Edinburgh, so it has literally everything you could wish for. We have lots of accommodation on offer for anyone who has got an offer with us, and we would just pop you in touch with the accommodation team who'd be able to set you up with whatever kind of room it is you would wish to be in. In terms of the accommodation in Dubai, it's not my expertise. However, I could definitely direct you. If anyone wants to pop me an email, I can pop that onto the Dubai team, and they'd be answering questions on the Dubai accommodations.
Excellent. Sorry, I know I put you in a difficult place there, but I've got to ask it. Manuel, just to finish off quickly, just a quick overview on everything we've kind of discussed in a couple of minutes, really, just to run through what a student can expect, the start dates, and what kind of funding and scholarship help, if that's not a Sarah question, they can look for and expect.
Well, again, I will kind of respond to the academic part of your question. I think that is an exciting program, and again, with the experience that I have accumulated over more than 20 years, is the fact that we are a new program is a really good thing, because academic program are something that when you want to change a little bit of it, there is a very huge process that you have to go through across your school, the university, and so on. So the benefit of actually starting a program now is that we have been talking to the industry, we are talking to professionals, to seek what they are looking for. What do you need for the new graduates? So we are in a very good position to shape the students in the way that they are be wanted by the practitioner. Of course, there is an element of what we think is important in terms of forming the new generation of building designers, in terms of sustainability, net zero, ethos, inclusivity, and so on. So this kind of almost juxtaposition of values between what industry needs and what we think a good designer, an all-round designer should be able to do, and to change the path of where we are going to, I think is if nothing else, is the reason why people should consider our program. It's a really nice program. Is an intense, of course, program as you expect for any MArch around the world, but the facilities will be fantastic. The staff is really welcoming, and then again, the fact that we are operating two different campuses to start with, there will be more. It's an incredible, unique point that you might not find in other competitors. So again, I just, of course, I wish you all the best for your future career, your future choices, whether it's with us or not. But if you are thinking of a new master in architecture, something that is relevant, that is, well placed for the next 50 years of your career, then we are definitely one of them. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Sarah, just to answer the kind of admissions question there as well, before we wrap up on the funding and scholarship element of it as well. There are third-party scholarships you can apply for, presumably, if you just want to run through a couple of them.
Yeah, absolutely. So we have some very specific scholarships available. So on our website, under the scholarship section, you'll see that depending on where you're based. So we have some for EU, we have some for kind of further afield than that as well. So I definitely have a look at our website in terms of what our scholarships are that we can offer you. Some come throughout the year, so it's worth checking back even once you've applied, once you've got your offer. Keep checking back for that, and we can definitely add them on as we go, or you might qualify, you have to apply for some. So it's definitely worth keeping an eye on the on our website for that. And just in terms of the semester details, we start the semester for September on the 1st of September with Welcome Week, which is a really lovely week for getting to know your peers, getting to know the campus, where you're living and everything like that. It's quite a relaxed week, kind of getting to meet everyone. And then the first week of teaching would start from the 8th of September onwards. So it's quite a nice week to come in. If you get your offer early, you can get here and explore the campus a little bit.
Excellent, Sarah, Manuel, thank you for your time. Really appreciate that. It's been an engaging session. Great to hear the thoughts on the new courses that are starting. Remember, if you're not starting in 25 and you want to look to next year, 26, there are various opportunities. There are brand new courses, a few older courses as well that you can look to join, more experienced courses. So if you've got any questions, look at the screen now. You've got the email address there directly at Heriot-Watt. Also, the admissions team at Heriot-Watt have all got your email addresses, contact details, and telephone number. So if you need to get in touch at all, they'll reach out to you first. But for now, Manuel, Sarah, thank you for your time, and we look forward to working with you again soon. If anyone has any questions, look on the on-demand video, and all the answers should be there. Thank you.